It's the end of August, and in less than 12 months' time, the class of 2011 will be graduating from university. Vicky Barber is studying economics and politics at the University of Birmingham.
I chose my course because I studied both economics and politics at A-level and enjoyed them more than any other subject I'd studied at school, found them really relevant to what I was interested in and what was going on in the world and the country, and just knew that by studying both of these two topics it would keep my options open for what I wanted to do after university.
Russian student Pavel Prokofiev is about to start his final year at Newcastle, reading business management.
3 years ago, I wanted to come to study to England and get a very good immersion in the culture. And I decided to choose Newcastle because of its ideal location in the northeast and access to different cultures around. I think that doing a degree in business management is very interesting as it provides introduction to different disciplines of business, including accountancy, finance, economics and marketing.
Craig Moffat is a chemical engineer at Strathclyde University.
At high school I enjoyed problem-solving subjects such as maths and physics and other subjects such as chemistry, so when it came to looking through brochures for university courses, chemical engineering was top of the list. It was an easy choice. I chose Strathclyde University because it's very well renowned for chemical engineering within the UK, and it's also highly regarded as an engineering institute.
Alexandra Harkness is a philosophy and politics student at the University of Leeds.
I chose Leeds because I went up there for the open day and I really got a good feel for the place. It's quite a large city, which was exciting for me because compared to where I'm from, there's a lot more going on. Also the course, the philosophy course, they gave you a lot of options in terms of which modules you could choose. Like there's a lot of flexibility, so I thought that would be good.
So what kind of work experience have our students had during their time at university?
In the summer of 2008 and 2009 I worked for Perth and Kinross Council doing environmental services work, and this summer 2010 I was lucky enough to work for DHL Supply Chain in Tokyo.
The work experience I've gained since I've been at university is working with an accountancy firm. Over the summer holidays I've managed to work with them full-time, gain simple accountancy skills and learn the trade, and also working with a group of financial advisors which were linked in with the company.
Over the last 2 years I worked at 2 accountancy firms. My first 2 months placement was held in Sunderland at the Audit Commission, where I was based at the City Council working on a succession of audits. Last summer I worked at the KPMG in Glasgow, where I was also working in the audit, working directly with the city councils.
Even though I'm studying philosophy and politics at Leeds, sometime near the end of my first year I became interested in pursuing a career as a solicitor. I found out about the graduate diploma in law, which is the conversion course. So basically I decided to think of all the people that I knew in that industry and got in contact with them, and I was actually able to secure 2 unofficial work placements with Simmons & Simmons in their banking departments and with Taylor Wessing in their intellectual property and IT department. And in both those placements I was sort of exposed to what I would be experiencing as a trainee solicitor, and I was able to speak to the graduate recruitment team, and it all sort of confirmed for me that I did want to go into that area after my degree.
As their search for a graduate job begins in earnest, what are the class of 2011 really looking for?
At this point of time, having done research, I think I'm most interested in working in corporate finance. I think that this particular sector offers a great opportunity to gain access to international markets. As a Russian and Latvian speaker, I'm looking forward to getting exposure to emerging markets. Also, I think that working in corporate finance puts you on a steep curve from the day one. That's what I like most.
When I first went to university, I assumed that when I graduated I'd go into mainly the sector of finance, as I'd studied economics, enjoyed economics and had a lot of work experience in accountancy. However, the extracurricular activities that I took up when I was at university showed me that I had good skills in management and people management, delegation, leadership. So after graduation, the sectors I'd also look into would be general management, HR, but also still look into finance and consulting.
Upon graduation I intend to go straight into a graduate programme, and I intend to stick within engineering initially to get some experience and to become chartered.
The biggest thing that I'm looking for in a law firm that I'm going to be applying to is the international opportunities, because I'd very much like to work abroad, and I'm not entirely sure whether I could do my training contract in somewhere like Africa or whether I'll have to do it in London and then possibly move out after a few years.
I think for me, my main criteria would be the future in that company and the likelihood of me being able to work upwards and the likelihood of how long I could stay there. And if it was only a short time I could work at that company, the training they would offer me would have to be quite essential to get training or qualifications from that company.
Ideally, my first employer would offer a well-structured graduate programme that would allow me to get sufficient training in that field. It would also allow me to experience different areas of their business to allow me to make a better decision for my future career path.
I think that the main criteria when choosing the ideal job to apply for is the size of the company. I want to get an exposure to a variety of clients across the globe. That's why I would like to work in a big firm. Secondly, I also want to make sure that the firm does need a profile like me, so I'll be looking for a firm that might be interested in Russian speakers, wanting to go abroad. And also very important, as I spend substantial time abroad, I would also want to look for a firm which is looking for people with an international focus.
I think a lot of my friends are quite unaware of the graduate market, so I think people are quite put off by it, and it can be a very daunting experience leaving university and going straight into graduation scheme. And I don't think sometimes the university help with the current economic crisis. A lot of my tutors and lecturers in economics just tell all the students you won't be able to get a job, you should do further study, it's all about further study. But I think people just need to be more aware of the graduate market and what's out there. So I think a lot of my friends are under-researched.
My friends on my course are reasonably optimistic about securing a graduate position, but several of my friends graduated this summer and I've had severe difficulties getting jobs, so it's quite a reality check for me.
One thing that does worry me is the amount of people applying for training contracts now. I do know that a lot of people who were looking to go into sort of the investment banking, financial sector are not seeing this as a secure route to go down, so a lot of them have decided to do the training contract instead and go into law. So I expect that there will be a lot more competition than in previous years. So that is a little bit of a worry for me, but hopefully I should be able to find something.
I think that in the current economic climate, everyone is worried. As for me, I'm trying to do my research, I'm trying to be approachable, and obviously I'm not trying to miss any of the graduate events which are available. And I think that especially today, this year, everyone should really consider where they want to work and take the opportunity.
Faced with a highly competitive graduate employment market, what will our students be doing to secure their dream job?
To secure a job, I'd firstly start looking at all the different websites of companies I'm interested in, looking at the top 100 and the graduate schemes they offer. I'd then read how you apply and work on my applications, apply to these firms when the applications open and see how it goes from there. I do think it'll be very time consuming as there's a lot of research that needs to be done, and having your first job really matters where you go and where you want to be and the company. So I think research will take a lot of time, but it's something that would be enjoyable and is essential.
To secure a job, my intentions are to speak to as many employers that I'm interested as possible, to get an idea of what it's like to work for the company, and also to do research on the company through their website, through leaflets, through my career service. I feel as though it shouldn't take too much time in the evenings, and hopefully I can strike a good balance between job hunting and my course.
Over the summer, I've done a great deal of research, looking at the companies which have exposure to emerging markets, what sort of business they do, preparing a timetable, making sure that I apply as soon as possible. So at this point of time, I already started applying, and most of the work has been done in summer.
Because applying for training contracts with law firms appears to be a very time-consuming process, I think I've decided to wait a year until I've actually graduated to apply for training contracts. So basically this year I'm just going to focus on my academics and my extracurricular stuff as well, and try and get all of that sorted before I apply.
My plan B, if things didn't work out how I wanted, would be continue into further education to gain more qualifications, or my dad's always told me to start up my own firm in PR. However, my ultimate dream would to apply to The Apprentice, as last year I applied, but I couldn't even go to the interview as it would require me to defer my year at university and put a lot of things I've got going on hold, and I didn't want to do that. But next year I'd definitely be applying for the opportunity with Lord Sugar again.